Oh boy, do we have a good one on tap for you on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel this week. We start Region 5 play with an in-Valley rivalry game. Mountain Crest plays host to Skyview. A couple of teams that have gotten through a tough preseason. Now we're ready to roll in Region 5. And we've seen both of them. And the question is, which team for each side is going to show up? They've been a little Jekyll and Hyde-ish.
Well, that's a big question, and you'll hear the coaches talk about it. Turnovers have been a big problem for both teams early on, and really that's one of the things they need to control tonight, both with 2 losses and 2 wins going into region play.
Skylar Hunt, one of the top rushers in 4A, and on the other side, Jameson Webb, one of the top passers in 4A. So could be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, it's a great night for both games tonight. You get to play your game, and really it's important to win this first game in region play because you don't want to be set back. There's not that many games.
Well, I think we might see a lot of points tonight. Stick around and let's see if I'm right or if he's right about defense. It's the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel coming up next.
Introducing the official training bike of the Tour de France, the Proform TDF, the first ever indoor training bike that delivers everything you demand. A 20% incline and a 20% decline, so you'll experience exactly what the road does. Because it's powered by Google Maps, you choose the road and the TDF follows it. Every incline and decline, so no matter what comes at you, you'll be ready. The Proform TDF automatically adjusts resistance, incline and decline. Plus, with a built-in power meter, you'll know your exact output. You decide where to go when the official training bike of the Tour takes you there. And now that you've decided, we're ready to deliver. Order right now and get 0 down and a free upgrade on rush shipping. Call the number on your screen or go online today.
Mountain Crest plays host to Skyview tonight in an in-Valley rivalry game on the Game of the Week. Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness. Never give up. Lewiston State Bank, your hometown bank with a new branch at 3rd South and Main in Logan. Wendy's of Cache Valley. Quality is our recipe. Cache Valley Hospital, your first choice for healthcare. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Salt Lake Express, offering door-to-door service in Cache Valley. S.E. Needham Jewelers, where Utah gets engaged. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. Well, hello everyone and welcome to Lynn R. Miller Field on the campus of Mountain Crest High School. Coach Mark Wooten coaches the Mountain Crest Mustangs. He talked to us about what to expect tonight from the Orange and Blue.
Coach, we look forward to this every year, not only the start of region play, but an in-Valley rivalry, Skyview and Mountain Crest. Tell me about this game, what you're looking forward to.
First game of region. It's very important that you get a win in the first game of season so you don't set yourself back. Both teams are going to play hard. It's going to be very competitive, and I think the team that makes the fewest mistakes should have a good chance.
You played a very tough preseason schedule, or non-region schedule rather, and if it wasn't for 4 points, you'd be undefeated. Tell me, it's difficult to lose, but what do you take from those tough games into this region play?
We've turned the ball over too much. We have 13 turnovers and we have 4 takeaways, and so a lot of penalties, turning the ball over, just not real discipline, and hopefully if we can correct that, we should be able to do okay.
Talk to me about the growth of your team, the offense, and really from the start of the season to now, and things you've really seen improvement in. Then you mentioned it, turnovers. What else could you grow in?
I thought we ran the ball real well last week. We tried to run a little bit more than we have. I think we probably threw it a little bit too much early. But Eddie Hall's a great runner. I think that's kind of made a big difference for us with the offense, and it's made us a little bit more 50-50.
Okay, thanks for your time, Coach. We'll see you at halftime.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Mountain Crest, as you mentioned, 5 points away from being 4-0 in a tough preseason schedule. But when you're -9 in the turnover ratio, it doesn't matter if you've got some state leaders playing for you.
Yeah, that's a hard way to win any game. And the same problem has perplexed Skyview in recent games, turning the ball over and some really poor execution. And that's why you have the pre-region games. Get that out of the system.
Well, Coach Craig Anders spent some time with Lee as well, talking about what we can expect from the Bobcats.
Well, Coach, 2-2 in the pre-region play, and now you come into region. Tell me what you learned from those games, wins and losses both, to go against Mountain Crest tonight.
You know, we learned a lot of things, and that's why you have a preseason. First of all, we learned we could play with tough teams. We beat Hunter, we beat Olympus, and we take a lot of pride in that. We also learned that we're human. You know, we've got to do the little things, as we saw in some of our losses, and I'm glad that we had those 4 weeks. I'm glad that we played the caliber of teams we played, so that we can test ourselves, see where we're at now, and see where we want to be in the future.
Well, fantastic. Tell me about your team and their health going into this. 4 games is tough, and now you're starting region play.
Absolutely. We're pretty healthy, thank goodness. Brad Weaver, our starting safety, is going to be out today. Hopefully he's back next week. He's been nursing a knee injury for the last couple weeks. But other than that, I feel like we're pretty healthy, and kids are ready to play. They're excited to start region. We play a preseason to prepare, and now it's time to play.
Well, 2 questions about that. How big is it for your team to beat Mountain Crest, and how big is it to get a region win?
Well, it's always big to win a rival. There's no doubt about that. Our kids are ready. They're excited to play, and it's even bigger to win a region game, because you want to get into the playoffs. And so, yeah, they're big games, but any game right now is a big game, every one of them. And so we're coming with everything we've got. We're going to leave it all out on the field and hold nothing back.
Super. Thanks, Coach, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Well, we talked about turnovers for Mountain Crest as a whole, and the last time we saw the Bobcats, they were just giving the ball away like it was Christmas. And I think I got a real sense over that Bobcat sideline that, we hold on to the ball and don't make dumb mistakes. We can play with anybody.
That is absolutely true, and they should have beaten Brighton that game that we saw on the Valley Channel, but now it's region.
All right, Mountain Crest and Skyview coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Clark Salt Lake Express and the airport shuttle have merged and become one.
So we still have doorstep service, and it's about the same price as it was before. Our focus now is to try to provide as many opportunities for people who need to have the ability to get to and from Salt Lake when they want. They don't want to wait at the airport for 2 hours. They also don't want to be driving around the valley when they get here.
And you bring us to a location that leaves on time.
We'll have another vehicle take you here to save time comfortably, and that main vehicle goes 12 times a day on schedule, both leaving the valley and coming back.
Few relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
Hi, I'm Randy Anderson, owner of Master Mechanic in Providence. Every repair we do at Master Mechanic comes with our peace of mind guarantee, meaning all repairs are guaranteed for 3 years or 36,000 miles. That's triple the industry standard. Summer travel time is here. Before you hit the road, stop by and have our ASE certified technicians inspect your vehicle. Prevent vacation breakdowns with our pre-trip inspection. Master Mechanic in Providence, taking the worry out of summer travel. I guarantee it.
Back in Hiram at Mountain Crest High School, Eric Olson along with Lee Vaughn, a couple of minutes away from kickoff. And Lee, we talked about some of the players on each of these teams being the leaders in some of the categories in the state. You've got Eddie Hall, 54 rushes, 348 yards, 6.44 yards per carry. He's number 10 in 4A. He averages 87 yards a game, but chucking the ball around, Jamison Webb, 74 for 114, 65%, 961 yards, 10 touchdowns against 6 interceptions. Number 4 in 4A in yards, number 4 in 4A in touchdown passes.
Well, that just tells you how well-rounded this Mountain Crest team is on offense. And you heard Coach Wooten talk about they probably want to run the ball a little bit more. They felt like they'd thrown it a little bit too often. And that's really Mountain Crest football, is get up in your face and run that ball.
Well, speaking of running, Skylar Hunt does a lot of that for the Bobcats. 99 yard per game average, 53 carries, 396 yards. He's number 5 in 4A and rushing, while on the other side, Godrich, who throws the ball around for the Bobcats, he's number 5 in 4A in yards, right behind Jameson Webb from Mountain Crest, and number 6 in touchdown passes. 919 yards on 48 completions and 19.15 yards per completion. 6 interceptions to 7 touchdowns. So his touchdown to interception ratio isn't quite as good, and we saw, 3 of those against Brighton?
Yeah, 3 of those came in one game, and really that's why you play those pre-region games, so you can get ready to come and play Mountain Crest on their home field and start region right.
Well, Daniel Lemon, we need to mention him as well, the big receiver for Skyview. 13 catches, 381 yards, 29 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. He's number 4 in 4A in receiving yards, number 7 in receiving touchdowns. So, and on the defensive side for Skyview, and you and I were talking before, you really think, defense is going to be the name of this game. Kyle Johnson and Kyle Jorgensen for the Bobcats. Johnson is number 1 in 4A in tackles with 52 over 4 games. He's number 3 in the entire state over all categories. And Jorgensen, Kyle Jorgensen, 49 tackles, is number 4 in 4A and number 8 in the state through all classifications.
Well, that's fantastic for the Bobcats. They're going to need every ounce of defensive effort tonight to slow down Mountain Crest, who, except for 5 points like I mentioned earlier, would be undefeated. And they did beat Lone Peak earlier this season. That's a big win.
They lost
to Lone Peak. Sorry,
that was one of those 5
They should have beat Lone Peak. Let me rephrase that. It was a last-second kick.
They had them beat.
The 5A state champs from last year. That was the 2-point loss.
They lost to Woods Cross. That's their common opponent, Woods Cross. They lost to Woods Cross by 3. Skyview got worked by Woods Cross last week. So again, we'll see which Skyview team shows up. Same for Mountain Crest, because that Woods Cross game for Mountain Crest, they gave up 20 points in the first quarter, or that game may have been different there. Now they start to count towards playoff seeding and everything else, and Region 5 play is underway in Hiram. Well, the return by Christian Fife out to about the 17-yard line, and that's where the Bobcats will start. Bobcats in their road whites, looking like UCLA. It's UCLA versus the Denver Broncos here tonight. You can pretend you're doing college and an NFL game while actually doing a high school game.
Story of my life. Pretend.
Dreams come true. Mustang with 3 down linemen. They give it to the first man through. It was not Hunt. Let's see who that was. That's Dane Anderson.
Too, yeah. Well, it's interesting to see how Skyview comes out in this first offensive set. They usually have the first series scripted, and to see the confidence factor in Godrich after being rattled a little bit in the last 2 games, and really see how Coach Andrew uses him.
Godrich in the gun. He's going to go downfield to Lemon, and Lemon can't get under it. He's being well defended out there by Taylor Niederhauser. So it's 3rd down. And a long 7 for the Bobcats. Four wide receivers and 1 back in the backfield. They haven't used Hunt yet. He's going to stay in the block. They're going to Lemon on the other side against Niederhauser, trying to take advantage of the height disparity, and nothing doing. And it's not that big a height disparity. Niederhauser's a pretty good-sized corner. So 3 and out for the Bobcats.
Lemon's a great athlete, and they're looking to get him in space and see if he can work against a man one-on-one, but the ball's just not delivered where he can get a shot at it.
One thing to watch in this game, and these are taken from statistics that are reported by the schools, so if some didn't get reported, then it could skew numbers. As kick is away, back inside his 40 is Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall, far sideline. Still on his feet, spins out of the tackle across the 30 and down to about the 27-yard line. And the Mustangs are in great field position to start.
Well, and Eddie Hall is a great weapon for this Mountain Crest offense, and they love to use him. They used him as quarterback last year, great athlete. Put him in the backfield, let Jamison chuck it around.
Take a look as we take a look at this return. He's got a lane, and then he cuts it back and gets
a couple blocks there. That's
another few yards.
Really good run back and great position for the Mountain Crest offense.
After the first play, I'll get back to that thought about what to watch for as far as the number of plays run offensively. You give to Hall, there's a flag. I think Pututau turned upfield too quick. It's probably going to be a procedure penalty against Mountain Crest. Okay, you take a look at the stats for the season for these two teams, and it is procedure. Mountain Crest averaging 68 offensive plays per game. Skyview averaging 43. That means your defense is on the field an awful long time. Now those stats are only as good as the reported stats.
It's true.
But
however, we saw the last game we had Skyview was the Brighton game, and that defense was on the field a long time.
And the reason I bring that up, Skyview goes 3 and out on their first possession. There are 95% of statistics are made up on the spot. There's lies, dang lies, and then statistics. That's right. Jamison looking downfield. He's got Pututau. Touchdown, Mountain Crest. 34 yards after the penalty.
Wow, that's just too easy. Webb has all the time in the world to stand in the backfield and find the big target in Pututau. Not an ounce of pressure. Still has Eddie Hall waiting as another blocker. He doesn't touch anybody either. Pututau in single coverage. Great ball and great catch.
It was Nick Hain that was out there trying to defend. Pututau slipped by him for the score. Coach Ander was worried about the aerial attack of the Mustangs. But he was talking about that. Mountain Crest runs the ball 39 attempts a game to 30 attempts through the air. The PAT is all blown up. And so it's a 6-0 lead early for the Mustangs. 10:20 to play in the first period from Hiram. Now the Mustangs with the quick strike after the big punt return by Hall, and after the penalty, 34 yards in the air. Webb to Pututau, the PAT, a bad snap. Skyview takes down the kicker and the holder and everybody else in the backfield, and so it's a 6-0 Mountain Crest lead. Fife's going to pick that one up just inside his own 10-yard line. He's up across the 25 to about the 26, and that's where the Bobcats will take over with a 6-point deficit. 10:13 to play in the first quarter.
Well, you hit it right on the head earlier on. We were talking about getting the defense off the field and playing a little ball control offense. You know, Skyview went for it. Deep pass on second down last possession, then had to go for it on third and about 8. You got to pick it up in short yards to get your team in the groove, I think, right now.
Get your junior quarterback getting a little bit of Feeling good about himself?
Get your offensive mojo going.
Well, they're going to give it to Anderson, and he's going to be snowed under. A whole herd of Mustangs there, and it's a 5-yard loss.
You're right, he gets buried. That sets up a 2nd down and 15.
Now Hunt again behind the quarterback. Now you're going to run a little screen out here to the near side. A little bit of running room for Mitch Larson. Larson's up near the 40-yard line. He's got a 1st down.
Boy, and that's a good play. It's like a long handoff. Get your quarterback throwing the ball and feeling good about it, and get some blockers upfield. Pick up a 1st down, which your defense needs as much as your offense right now.
16 yards for Larson, and a 1st down for the Bobcats. Goddard is going to throw it the other way, and it's dropped by Nate Payne. Nate Payne, one of the leading receivers on this team. 10 catches, 118 yards, almost 12 yards per catch. But you got to catch it before you get yards first.
Well, the blocking just wasn't set up yet. He could see a lot of orange jerseys out of the peripheral vision, and that'll make you alligator arm it every time.
No huddle for the Bobcats. They'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Take a look at the defense. This is all the rage now, the no huddle. Even on the pro level. Goddard fakes the give and keeps it. He does a little read on the end. He kept it, and he lost 2 yards.
He gets buried by Stetson Weston, number 14.
So it's 3rd down and 12 coming up for the Bobcats against that Mustang defense. 3-man defensive line.
Couldn't ask for a better name for a Mustang than Stetson Weston.
Stetson Weston. The law just rode into town. Looking to Lemon on the slant. Trouble for Goddard. Somehow he gets out of it and picks up a nice block.
Face mask.
He gets it downfield to Lemon. Lemon can't make the one-handed catch. And there's a flag in the backfield. They're going to say the Mustangs had Goddard around the head, and they call the face mask, so it's going to be 1st down anyway. You see right there, Goddard, Arrington Evans was bearing down on him, and Goddard got away.
If you touch any part of the face mask, it's a face mask, even if it's the backside of it towards your ear hole. That's a great effort by Lemon to go and get that ball and almost brings it in.
Yeah, that will be a 1st down by 3 yards. Coach Wooten's wanted clarification. The official's talking to him. So get your hands actually up under the lip of that helmet back there. Yeah, that's not so much what you should do.
No. And that keeps this drive alive for Skyview. Looked like it was going to be ended again at 3rd and 12. Now they got a 1st down at midfield.
The penalty extends the Skyview drive. Now they're in Mustang territory for the first time. Counter inside to Hunt, and he loses 2.
It just takes too long to develop. Mountain Crest doing a great job in penetrating and breaking that counter play up.
4 rushes on the night for Skyview, minus 6 yards. So the running game right now isn't there.
Well, they don't have heights and weights on the roster tonight. Big number 51, Kyle Christiansen. That kid is a load. He'll plug up some holes.
He's pretty close to 3 bills.
Oh, I think he's close on the other side of it.
I think he's just a junior, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Goddard underneath. Has his man. It's complete. It's going to be short of a 1st down, but it'll bring up a very manageable 3rd and about 3 after the completion to Durstiller.
That's a brave route by Dursteller. Orange jerseys all the way around him, and that's some courage to go in there and catch that ball.
Goddard on 3rd and 3. Fakes the give, rolls out. It's got Durstiller again. Gets away from the tackle, And he's still rumbling down inside the 25 and pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. 22 yards and a first down.
Boy, and a great individual effort by Goddard and then to Dursteller as well. Goddard to get that ball to him, and then Dursteller just makes a couple of Mustangs miss. And then watch this, he doesn't go out of bounds, drops his shoulder. Boom.
We're going to give it to Hunt. Hunt looked like he had an opening, and then he spun down as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's Jaden Mon, number 78, that threw him down. That saved, I think, a big game.
That hole closed as fast as it opened.
Jaden Mon scraped down from his nose tackle position, keeping up that tradition of Mountain Crest nose tackles that look like they should be playing receivers.
Wideouts.
Not big, but high motor. There's the pitch out to Hunt. He's got the edge. Pututu can't bring him down, and he's finally hauled down by a couple of Mustangs, and there's a flag coming in after the play. See who it's on after a 6-yard run. Seven-yard run by Hunt. Personal foul on Mountain Crest, so they're going to tack half the distance to the goal onto the 7-yard run by Hunt.
Well, and that's the kind of penalty that will drive you absolutely crazy as a coach. You can sometimes live with those effort penalties, even though you get a hold of somebody's helmet back earlier in this drive. But this one is a dead ball personal foul, and that is uncalled for.
And it was away from the ball.
Yep. That is definitely lapse on Monday. For whatever painful thing the coach thought of.
First and goal at the 7-yard line. 6:28 to play in the first period. Skyview looking for the equalizer and a PAT to pull into the lead. Little screen inside for Larson. Larson down to the 2.
Well, this is exactly what the Skyview defense needed, a sustained drive, albeit by 2 personal foul penalties for Skyview.
Take them however they come, right?
Yep.
Oh my God! Oh yeah!
Goddard fakes the give. Right up the middle. Touchdown, Skyview.
That was a great fake. Mountain Crest defense bit on it and opened a lane for Goddard for 6.
You're just reading the end on that. It's that read option. If the end comes upfield hard, like they did, you fake the give and pull it in right up the middle.
All of them bid on that one.
Skyview now with a chance to take the lead. Kicks good, 7-6, Skyview with the lead. 5:48 to play in the first period from Hiram.
Visionary homes.
Back in Hiram, well, Skyview answers the Mountain Crest scoring drive with one of their own. 7-6, Skyview, and the difference in missed PAT right now. Not a missed PAT, but a foiled PAT attempt. Foiled, blocked, snookered, kerfluffled. They didn't get it. Pututau in the end zone. And the Mustangs will start this time on their own 20-yard line. That was a big answer. That was big answering. That was throwing a punch back. We talked about this down on the sideline with some of the coaching staff for Skyview, saying, you know, we need to see how we respond to adversity, to taking a shot. We need to get up and keep fighting and do better at that. And what they did. They took a shot and then they punched back.
Skyview's had plenty of adversity in the last 2 games, losing those games and the last one big. And we talked about how important momentum is to these high school kids, and that's a big momentum shift to the Skyview Bobcats and gives some much needed rest and a little momentum to the defense.
Eddie Hall into the secondary, picking up almost 7.
Boy, Eddie Hall is such a great low to the ground runner. He's so hard to bring down if you don't get a clean shot on him. And one of the great things about Eddie is he keeps his head up all the time. His head's on a swivel. He knows where the defenders are coming, and nobody ever really gets a really good shot on him.
Met his dad before the game, asked him what schools are looking at him, and there are plenty. He's getting a lot of interest from schools all over the place. Hall, off tackle, another big hole. And it's coming back. They're going to call a hold as Hall gets out to the 40-yard line, and another late flag coming in. So a 13-yard run. We may have offsetting. Let's look. See if you can see the hold. It was back right there.
It's right there. Yep. Might have actually been 2.
Definitely got his hands outside of his body. Here's a hold on Mountain Crest. Personal foul, face mask on Skyview. Play it over.
It's the famous do-over. Never figured that out, how a hold equates to a face mask.
You know, I guess they could mark off 10 and then mark off the 15 the other way.
That's
and
right.
See what happens.
Yep.
Because that's what fans want to see. More adjudicating.
More officiating, yes.
Here's the pitch to Hall. They'll run the same way. This time it's the short side of the field, though. Not as big a gain, but similar result, and that is a first down. Another 7 yards for Hall.
He's got to be having a tough time getting penetration off this good offensive line from Mountain Crest. It's allowing Eddie Hall and Jamison Webb to either set up in the backfield or get a full head of steam before they get to the line of scrimmage.
5 wide receivers against a 4-man rush. Putu Tau stretches up, catches that one. They give him 4. Putu Tau, 2 catches, 38 yards, and a touchdown. Jamison Webb, they call him J-Mo up here. You see him right there. Webb, 2 for 2, 38 yards and a touchdown.
Don't think that Coach Bookmiller, the basketball coach, doesn't hold his breath every time Putu Tau goes up in the air to catch one of those balls on the ground.
Hall loses it. Looks like he got back on it. Let's see. Skyview says they have it. Let's see. Second down.
I don't think he ever got that handoff from Webb. Never really made the exchange.
This is when you're living right as a running back. The ball bounces right back to him, and he gains 2 yards. Yeah, he never really got it. That wasn't clean. Comes right back to him. And he gets back on it and gains 2 yards. 3rd and 4. Fake the give. Webb's in trouble. Somehow gets away. Picks up a block. And let's see where they spot it, but it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Hall sprung him with that last block. And I don't know how Webb got away. 5 yards and a first down.
Great individual effort and even better observation skills by Eddie Hall and seeing where he could pick up a very important block.
He played quarterback last year. He knows what that feels like.
He does know that feeling.
Son, you need help. Come on. Come on over here. I'll take care of you. 4-man rush. J-Mo going up top to Putu Tau. Too tall for Putu Tau, and that's saying something. He got hands on it, but he was drifting out of bounds. First incompletion for Webb.
Boy, that's a pretty good ball thrown by Webb, and pretty good coverage by Skyview as well, and McKay Milne.
That one behind Hall. So now it's 3rd and 10. As Mountain Crest didn't waste any time getting that snap off. 3:10 to play in the first period. 7-6 Bobcats.
Nobody in the backfield with Webb.
Glad and Ferguson and Hall at the top of your screen. Actually, Ferguson's at your bottom. Webb gets away from trouble. Looking downfield, he's going to keep it. He's going to be about 5 yards short of the first down. So right at midfield, and Mountain Crest, they'll roll the dice, but will they do it here?
That's just such a smart play by Webb to not try and force that ball somewhere where it's not going to go and have a turnover. You get another down here and some options. It may punt it away or.
Well, Webb's the gunner, and Pututau's the punter. Niederhauser the gunner on the near side. And there's a flag out near the Skyview 40. It's a sideline warning. Fourth and 6. Right at midfield. It's actually on the Mountain Crest 49. Pututau back to kick. Remember, Hall, the up back, can throw it and run, but they snap it off to Pututau. High kick, but it doesn't get very deep. Nope. Takes a Mountain Crest bounce.
Wow.
Takes a big Mountain Crest bounce and finally dies at the 10-yard line. Ends up being a 41-yard kick. 3 yards in the air, 38 on the ground.
That was a pretty lucky bounce, really, because it looked like it was the way it was spinning was going to bounce backwards.
He laid up on that one, just wanted to get it within a few yards of the hole.
That's right.
Well, now the Bobcats, leading 7-6, take the field with their offense. 2:15 to work with here in the first period. Other Region 5 games tonight. Logan's at Bonneville, Roy's at Box Elder.
That'll be a pretty good game, Roy Box Elder, I think.
Roy undefeated, Box Elder with 1 loss to the 4th-ranked team in the state in all classifications, Syracuse. Goddard thought twice and should have just kept on going. No, I don't want to keep this. Oh, I got him. He lost 4.
He really wanted to pitch that ball, but by then it was too late, and good coverage by the Mountain Crest defense. Everybody holding their assignments, and that's how it works. He's going to have to bill the guys from Mountain Crest for a new sleeve.
Colby Wingreen was the linebacker that came up and made the play. Goddard, a little swing out there to Payne. Did he catch it and fall down? If he did, that's a loss of a couple of yards.
Yep. Slipped on the turf, knee hit the ground.
He lost 2. Skyview going the wrong way. 3rd and 16. Skyview 1 for 3 on 3rd downs. Going for the deep ball. Lemon's there. They looked for that early in this quarter. They couldn't get it, and they got it this time. From the 16 all the way to the 35 of Mountain Crest.
Boy, that's just trusting your receiver. He throws it to a spot and lets Lemon run underneath it. Take a look at the replay here. Deep from your own end of the field. Just throws that ball up for grabs, and he knows he's got one-on-one coverage on the outside with the taller Lemon. Now streaking down the field, and they spot the ball finally at the 35-yard line for a huge gain of momentum burst for Skyview.
61 yards. That was from the 4-yard line on 3rd and 16. And Goddard put it right there. At the Mountain Crest 35, give off to Anderson. He's met at the line of scrimmage.
Really have not been able to get the running game going as the Bobcats just still negative yardage, I assume.
No, well, yeah, 9 carries minus 1 yard as a team for the Bobcats.
But you have to keep going to it. That's what sometimes parents in the bleachers are like, why do you keep running? You got to keep the defense honest, and it opens up that exact play we saw right before that.
Can't be one-dimensional. 109 yards through the air, though, for the Bobcats. Here's the pitch to Anderson. Anderson cuts it back in. Ferguson rides him down after a 3-yard gain. They're not using Hunt back there as the running back very much. Hunt's got 3 carries.
And a tweaked ankle still.
That's going to be the end of the first period. Skyview wins the first period, 7-6. Mid-Valley rivalry battle going on there.
S.C. Needham Jewelers is Northern Utah's largest volume diamond importer. My name is Gene Needham, and I travel personally to the World's Diamond Cutting Center, Antwerp, Belgium. There I hand-select each diamond based on the most favorable combinations of cut, color, and clarity. This makes all of our diamonds unique and special and assures that our customers get the best selection and value. These advantages enable us to consistently beat 50 to 70% off sales or any so-called wholesale deals. Come see us, S.C. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
Well, and that's the difference between us and say a chain that they'll hire anybody off the street and doesn't matter. And not that that's so bad, but here we're trying to give as personalized service as you can, as informed as you can possibly be, and help the individual in their selection of eyewear.
Yeah, that's a great benefit. I don't see how you can put a price tag on that. That's
well,
awesome.
That's probably right.
Skyview's already converted a 3rd and 16 on this drive. Now it's 3rd and 7. Goddard up the middle. He's not going to get there. In fact, he's going to be about 4 yards short.
Yeah, this deep in Mountain Crest territory, it's likely that Skyview's going to go for it on 4th down.
Oh, yeah.
Too far to kick it and too short to punt it.
Goddard with Anderson behind him. Now Hunt's not even on the field. He's over on the sideline with his helmet off. Goddard's looking at the slant. Caught. Talk about threading the needle. 10 yards on 4th down and 5.
Mitch Larson. That was a bullet. Take a look where he steps back. Never looks anywhere else besides that receiver. Waits for Larson to come open.
Payne hauls this one in at the 1 yard line. 19 yards, 1st and goal.
Skyview hurrying up.
Goddard's going to keep.
Ooh.
He only needed a yard. It didn't look like he got it.
No, he got hit hard in the backfield by Gage Ferguson, and he was going nowhere after that.
8 of 10 for Goddard. 138 yards and a touchdown rushing. Looking to go up. Boy, Skyview missed it. The slot man wasn't covered. Could have hurried and snapped that. They would have had an easy one. Goddard's going to keep it again. He's going to lose yardage. He tried to spread him out.
I just don't know why in this situation you go back to where you haven't found water in the well yet.
2 yards rushing for Skyview on 13 carries. So now it's 3rd down and goal at the 5 yard line. 3 of 5 on 3rd down for Skyview. They've converted 3rd and 16 and 3rd and 7 on this drive. And now maybe you're thinking about a field goal if you don't get this. I think I'd move that quarterback a little bit to the right side of the field. They don't. Keep him in the pocket. Now he's in trouble. Gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Good protection by his offensive line, and now we'll bring Griffiths on to try the chip shot field goal, but that's a win for the Mountain Crest defense. It was 1st and goal at the 1, and now it's 4th and goal at the 5. Field goal attempt of about 22 yards. Kicks up, kicks good. 10-6, Skyview extends their lead, 9:34 to play in the first half. All right, 10-6, Skyview, 9:34 to play in the first half. Skyview extends the lead, but Mountain Crest defensively has to feel pretty good. It was first and goal at the 1 for the Bobcats, and they ended up forcing them into a field goal, did the Mustang defense. So it's still a one-score game. That one off the hands of Ferguson. Pututau picks it up off the roll at the 15. Pututau makes one miss. He's got the edge. And he's out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Looked like he might be able to turn that corner, but then Skyview closed down the alley. And the Mountain Crest offense back out on the field.
It kind of slows down the momentum right there, and the ball gets tipped, and he's got to bend over and pick it up. That's a position you never want to be in as a returner. And I think he gets surprised right there as that lane opens up. He thought it would be a little more claustrophobic.
Webb. Nobody downfield. Now he works his way to Pututau, who came back for that one and picked up 9. Three completions for Webb, all of them for Pututau. 47 yards.
Well, both these quarterbacks making pretty good decisions, I think, and not trying to force the issue too much.
Give to Ferguson. Ferguson picks up the first down. 4 yards for Ferguson. Ferguson, a good-looking junior. A lot of speed. This time he stays in the block. Pitch and catch for Webb, and it's dropped by Blad. So pitch and drop that time. So the runner stole second. Blad's not going to want to see this one in film.
No. Basically uncovered.
Yeah.
Oh.
Second and 10, inside handoff to Ferguson. He's got the corner. Ferguson puts his head down, and he's out near the first down marker. They're going to say he stepped out right. Boy, just short of the marker. It'll be third and less than a yard.
Ferguson, just a junior from Mountain Crest. And it seems like Mountain Crest always has a stable of running backs.
Webb's going to keep it. Goes off the right side. He needed about 6 inches, and he got about 6 yards. Talk about how much Mountain Crest throws the ball around, but I mentioned it earlier. They average 39 rushing attempts per game against about 30 passes.
Yeah. And still, Coach Wooten thought that was too many passes. Spoken like a former offensive lineman.
Webb, lots of time, unloads. Pututau with the catch, flag in the secondary. Let's see what the call is. That looks definitely like a catch at 9 yards, but what's the call? You know, in high school, you can just manhandle those receivers until the ball's in the air.
But you can't set a pick.
No, you can't. It looks like it might be an offensive call. Holding on the defense.
Oh.
So they're going to say, okay, do you want 1st and 5 or do you want 2nd and 1? They're going to take.
Parents, did you know attending a game with your kids can help prevent underage drinking?
So they're going to take 1st and 5.
Oh, that's 10 yards for that defensive holding. Oh, they marked off 9, but that's a 1st down. First penalty on Skyview. They take the penalty, not the pass. Inside give as they fake the pitch. Hall inside the 20, down to 19-yard line. Picks up 7.
Mountain Crest answering back here with a fantastic drive, sustained drive. Trying to answer a 10-6 deficit.
Webb, quick snap. I don't think he got enough for the 1st down. He got to the 17, he needed the 16, so Webb with 2 yards. Third and 1. Webb will keep it again. Oh, that's a good defensive play. The Skyview player stuck his noggin in there. Kyle Johnson knocked Webb backwards, but he got enough for the 1st down.
Webb did a great job on that play. He kind of just waited for that hole to open. It was a hesitation keeper and picked up enough for the 1st down, like you said.
56 yards on the ground for the Mustangs. With 7:10 to play in the 1st half. Skyview hasn't been able to run the ball. They've got 2 yards on the ground, but they're throwing it around through the air. Bobcats look like they might be offsides. Hall had trouble with the exchange. He's going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Mountain Crest. Eddie Hall from 15 yards out. See if Mountain Crest goes for 2.
I think they are. That's a great run and good blocking downfield for Mountain Crest. Open up that lane to the corner for Eddie Hall and 6 points for Mountain Crest.
Well, it's a 3-point game if you kick it. A field goal ties it. Now we're a long way from the end of this one, so Mountain Crest is going to go for it. Got Lemon in playing Putu Town, so the height advantage is negated somewhat there. Webb's looking for Putu Town, and he backs into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So Mountain Crest back out front now, 14-10, with 6:52 to play in the 1st half.
Here at Lewiston State Bank, we offer lots of different loan products to meet your needs. We're happy to work with you and hope that you would enjoy working with us.
We had to take out an automobile loan, and so we came into Lewiston State Bank, and she was so good. She worked with me really, really well.
We are proud to have been serving our customers for over 100 years with personalized, friendly service. Please come in and meet your new friends at Lewiston State Bank.
All right, Mountain Crest set to kick off. Weston Casey puts this one into the end zone, and now Skyview will take over at their own 20-yard line, now trailing 14-10.
Ball will be placed at the 20 now, 6:52 to go in the quarter. We've seen both teams with some great sustained offensive drives. Skyview would love nothing better than to get one going here and eat up most of the clock in this half.
Mountain Crest 2 of 4 on 3rd down. Skyview 3 of 6. Anderson deep in the backfield behind Goddard. Goddard looking at pressure. He keeps it. What a wallop on his running back.
Anderson got popped. I think Goddard's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's where he got. Was back to the line of scrimmage. Stetson Weston making the play. Look at this. Here he's going to give it here. He's going to give it here. Cameraman said, yeah, I gave it there. Oh, wait. And then at the end of this play, the poor cameraman on the far side gets taken out.
It's a dangerous job.
No gain for Goddard. Steps up, looking for Lemon, and Lemon stepped out of bounds, and a flag. He'd have to be holding. It looked like he was. You have to decide whether the ball is in the air or not. It's pass interference on Mountain Crest. So for Mountain Crest, that's their third penalty now, 35 yards.
All personal fouls, 2 personal fouls, and 1 pass interference.
3 first downs by a penalty for Skyview. And you can bet the boys in orange are going to hear about that at halftime.
Yeah.
Godrich looking for Dursteller. And a little out. And ball's incomplete. Just off his fingertips. Zach Kimball was defending. Godrich, 8 of 12, 138 yards. And he's rushed for a touchdown. Payne goes in motion, 3-man rush for the Mustangs. Godrich, wide of his man, and there's a flag that comes in, and not sure what was going on there. I didn't even see another player there, unless he was throwing it toward the middle of the field and somebody else.
Well, it's a flag fest all of a sudden here in Hiram.
Illegal use of hands
against Mountain Crest. Well, you're right. I think Coach Wooten's going to have some words to say about this, and I probably will ask him about it at halftime.
4 penalties, 45 yards for Mountain Crest. That doesn't include the penalty earlier that was offset by another one.
Yeah, that's true.
All but one of these penalties coming against the defense from Mountain Crest. There's another first down by penalty. And again, they're knocking Lemon out of bounds, and again, they're going to say pass interference, and then Mountain Crest sideline saying, "What are you talking about?" And here's how that rule goes. And coaches want a timeout; they're going to go chew on those officials. Here's how that rule goes: you can manhandle that guy till the ball's in the air.
Yep. Well, that's a very tight call. He may have had one hand extended, but wow.
Then they keep throwing that over to the Skyview sideline.
I think they're going to keep throwing it until the officials stop calling it. And there's Coach Wooten getting the official explanation.
Now he can ride him right out of bounds. He can hand fight him and push him and ride him right out of bounds. He can't. But once the ball's in the air, yeah, that's when they can call that. Now if he had already stepped out of bounds, if you're the corner over there and you force him out of bounds, leave him out of bounds, he can't come back in and be an eligible receiver.
Coach Wooten not liking the answer that he's getting from the side official and goes back to the head referee.
He says, "Hey, you leave me out of this. I'm busy here."
Yeah, I'm busy. I got to watch stuff like holding. And they call a timeout just for this reason. That's probably a good timeout by Coach Wooten because his kids are getting a little frustrated. They don't know what they're doing, and it's good for the kids to see the coach out there standing up for them. Boy, and they're into a serious game of charades here all of a sudden.
Well, that's what Coach Wooten is saying. Look, we can jam that guy. And the official looks like he's saying, well, he's trying to get around him, and
doesn't matter.
He's holding him up. Well,
if the ball's not in the air, it doesn't matter.
You can. That's one of those rules where you can just manhandle a guy. You can't really come right out and tackle him, but you can get your hands all over him and fight him.
Look where they're going again.
Yep, going back to Lemon.